Hello, welcome to the 8th devlog for my isometric colony simulator. It's been about a month since the last one. I've been very busy working on a multiplayer framework for the game. So in the future, I want multiplayer to be a key component, so you can play with friends, you can matchmake to take on other people, and things like that. But because I'm writing this game from scratch and I don't have a framework that I can use, I wrote it myself using the SDL net library. It has TDP and UDP from the get-go. And right now the TCP stuff is turned off. And just before I show the game, I would like to thank everyone for 100 subscribers, because that is a huge milestone for me personally. And it means a lot if anyone who isn't subscribed does subscribe. So yeah, let's get right into this. If I go to my drive and I open up this, so you have the host, so indicated by the little top bit, the title bar. The host can see everything, so we can see like the spawner, we can see the entities walking around. Game works like normal, but you can see here that we've started a server, we've connected to the server, and we've sent the packet data, which is serialized using binary serialization. We can say we've got the incoming packet type, players connected. We've sent data to the client. I've got a bug where it's sending twice, and then the client goes, "Oh, I've received the packet for the host." What I can do now is open up a new client, and while the time of day is currently not synchronized, we can see that it sent the packet data the client, and on the server we can see that a player is connected with the remote client. This unknown packet data is because I am trying to send a live check to the server, which doesn't have its own packet, so it doesn't know what to do with it. But we can see that the terrain at least is synchronized right now, because that's the only piece of data that I actually send from the host to the client. Synchronizing entities is going to be a little bit more difficult. If I go to here and I open up a third client, you can see they are all synchronized. There's no disconnect detection yet from the clients to the server, because I haven't finished plugging in the TCP protocol side of the server, which will be used for more real-time stuff like connecting and disconnecting. Right now it all just uses UDP packets, so if I close one of these, we can see that that client has closed. We close the next one, we can see that that client has also closed. I tried sending tile data individually over the server. Yeah, it didn't like it, so what I do now is I just send a packet with the chunk seed, and then we overwrite the chunk of any clients right now. Eventually, though, I'll be using packets to synchronize entity positions, and TCP for things like chat and anything that needs to be instant. I'm trying to still figure out the best way to handle the trees and the bushes, for example, and the spawner. What else is new? We have a new time of day clock in the top right corner. Helps keep track with, well, the time. It's not in its finalized state, but it's something, and it shows how many days have rolled over. The bushes have a new graphic on them. I think they look much nicer now. Is this guy gonna go over here and eat a bush? No, there isn't one there. He has... Oh, yeah, I slowed down the hunger, so they're just going to walk around. I can't remember if the spawner had a new graphic, so I'm going to show that here. It looks nice. It blends in with the grass. A friend of mine wrote that. I did find a bug with VSync, where if I set my refresh rate to 144, everything was going really quickly. So now I've hard capped the game currently at 60 frames per second. I will eventually remove this dependency, but for now it will be fine. If we want to look at the technical side of things, we have the UDP client and server. Let me just pull up the header files really quick. Here it is, networking. So a client can send a packet to the server. I have this generalized send function that I use in my send packets, and it has a receive function for receiving data from the server. If I want to look at my send packet, I just serialize the packet and then send that across using the send function. This is the a live check. This is currently enabled on both of the test clients that I have here. It's not finalized, and processing the packets is a very manual process. So here we have the only actual packet that's somewhat done is the chunk. So if it's the host, we don't want to do anything. If it's a client, we want to deserialize the packet that we've received and then download the chunk using the seed that we got. If we want to look at the chunk packet, in fact, I should just show the packets in general. Packets have a type like server ping, client ping, player connected, player disconnected, the chunk one, and then here I'm playing around with entities. They have a base serialize and deserialize function. They have a base size function. Type you can use, don't really need it. Let's look at the chunk packet. So, because it's binary serialization, I have an offset in the binary data. We know that every 4 bits is a byte. So the size of an int is 4, which will be 0000. We want to serialize the packet type first. So this will put the packet type in front of everything, and then we'll move it on. Then we put on the type of the chunk, which is like if it's a cave, if it's a player island, if it's another island, etc. And then we have that chunk's seed, which isn't finalized just yet. I haven't quite decided how I want this to work in the long run. This bit of commented out code is me playing around with sending the tile data individually, which did work. Kinda, sorta. UDP is very unreliable. Yeah, I tried sending it in 16 packets, but didn't really work. And then you have the deserialization of it, which is just assigning all the functions. At the end of the day, the packet type isn't really used. It's used in the client for determining which packet it received. But I like to have it here just in case. And then here is the deserialization that I was playing around with before. Size, because it's 3 ints, the packet type, the chunk type, and the seed, I just need to do the size of an integer times 3. Here I was trying to do it all dynamically, and it got messy because this size cannot exceed 1024, which is a hard-coded size that I've plugged in. Here it is. Max packet length of 1024. This is how many bytes? 1024 is a megabyte. I figured that preferably that would be good enough. I did try 65, 535, but I was left with a lot of empty data, guess you could say. And I didn't really like sending packets that was 65 megabytes in size over a network. So I'm going to try and keep it under a megabyte. Yeah, and then we go into the server. The server side. So let me find the code here. Server has a little bit more going on. We have the client info for incoming clients. I made that a struct just because it was easy and simple. We have the receive function, which we'll look at starting, stopping, sending a packet, sending a packet to a specific client, and the original data. This just serializes the packet and sends it to the client. It's not all too difficult. This sends multiple different packets to a specific client. I can see some use cases where this would be used. We have the serialize and deserialize functions. A function to extract the packet type from the data, which is used for the receive function. We have a client checking to see if a client exists. We have handling new clients, handling client disconnections, and the fun one of logging. We keep track of all the connected clients with a list. It's not perfect yet. I don't think it ever will be, to be fair. If we take a look in this receive function, we get an SDL net UDP receive, pass in the packet, check that there's data. We get the IP and port of the user, pass that into a client info, construct the data vector from the packet data, and then we deserialize the packet. That is why it's the STD vector char. If the packet is null, something went wrong, but don't crash. Otherwise, we get the type, and we start processing. This would typically only happen if it's not a packet that's been sent to the server, which is fine for now. Preferably, I want to keep everything constricted to packets. So we just have server playing ping pong. There we have when a player connects, we add the client, we handle a new client, we send the data to all the clients that somebody joined, and then specifically to this new client that joined, we send them back the chunk data. So we construct the chunk packet with the server seed. So the starting X is 0, the starting Y is 0, the end is 32, and yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. And then we send that chunk packet to the new client. You can see here I was playing around with sending multiple packets at once, but it kind of worked for a couple rows, and then it just stopped and didn't work properly, and I just gave up trying to fix it for now. Disconnecting packet, we construct the client info, which we have already, and then we handle the disconnecting of the client info. Thinking about it, I'm not really sure if we need to do this because we have the client info here. It works either way. I might get rid of this. Handle the disconnection for the client, send the packet to everyone. The client's disconnected. And then here we have the chunk. When we receive a chunk packet, we just send that to everyone. That's what I have so far in terms of that. I have the starting of the server. I have the stopping of the server. Sending packets to all clients. Sending packets to a client. The actual meat and potatoes are that send function. Same thing here. It honestly, it's very confusing for me to even keep track of it, and I wrote the bloody thing. Here we go when we deserialize the chunk packet data. We just deserialize. Yeah, this was when I was playing around with it before. I'll clean it up. It needs cleaning out. It's a heck of a mess. But it's something that works, and that's what's important. We have the TCP stuff. It's not ready yet. I'm still very, very much working on it. So this time we try to resolve everything. We go around, we connect. I try to get some rudimentary TCP stuff up and running. But that's not ready to show yet. And yeah, I mean, there's the serialization functions. But these are way too confusing to explain, so what I've done is I've just commented them. Because eventually, when I have a bigger audience and I have more supporters of the game, and if they are interested in seeing the code, it'll all be commented. But yeah, I think that just about covers it for now. Is there anything else I'm missing? I don't think so. Yeah. Hopefully in the next one I'll have entities all synchronized, and maybe I can have a colonist or two walking around that both clients can see. But yeah, that's it for me. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.